Hey there, welcome to Write a Book That Doesn't Suck, the podcast, where I help you take your book from idea to production to publication and beyond. Because that's what we're trying to do, right? No one wants to write a book that sucks, but as a writer and editor, I have done and read some very bad books, and I'm sure you have too, and we don't want to write those books. So together, we are going to free the world of sucky books. Well, at least we're going to try, one at a time. My name is Jaimie Engle of the Write Engle. I'm an award-winning author in Florida, and it is my pleasure to share with you some of the things I have learned in my 10-year author travel. Maybe it's been longer by now. Who knows? Don't want to age yourself or date yourself, right? Today, I thought we would talk about helicopter parenting with characters. You know you do it. I do it. Not so much anymore that I'm aware of it. But we have a tendency as writers to baby our protagonist. I mean, he or she is our baby. We birthed them. We watched them grow. And then when they hit problems, what do we want to do but rescue them, right? We want to give them an easy way out. We want to provide them opportunities to escape that are the simplest. Yeah, a little bit of pain's good, but not a lot. We don't want them to cry, right? That is what we do with our characters, guys, and it's terrible. We can't do that. It takes away tension. It prevents your character from growing and becoming the hero that you've destined them to become when you created them. We have to get out of their way as a writer. You have to get out of the way of your character and let them go on their journey and discover what it is they need to discover so that when your readers pick up your book, they can follow that journey. And when they close that book at the end, they will feel like better people. They will feel like they, through the character, have conquered the world just a little bit, that they've gained control of some fallacy or some negative aspect of their lives or of the world itself through your story. And if you're not pushing your characters to the limits, you are doing your reader a disservice, and you're writing a mediocre book, and maybe even a book that sucks. So what I'm going to tell you to do is think about when you're putting your character in harm's way, how can you up it? I know that's horrible, isn't it? I'm a horrible parent. But how can you up it? And when it's over, how fast can you bring on the next problem? Can you overlap it so that they're facing a dragon and then out of the blue an ogre appears? Can you do that? Think about it. If you've ever read Maze Runner, I gotta tell you, I was breathless reading that book, and I felt so bad for these kids. And I remember saying out loud, oh my God, would you give them a break already? Because it was just one issue to the next, and they didn't even have a chance to sit down and have a drink. You know, they didn't even get to have a cup of water while they were going from problem to problem in the story. And that, my friend, is great writing. And that's the writing we should achieve to have in our books. And that's why Mr. Dashner is amazing. Another story that I just watched, it's an Adam Sandler film. It just came out. It's called Uncut Gems. He's not funny. It is not a comedy. And I'll tell you what, I was stressed out watching this film because this guy's life was just problem to problem to problem with zero breaks. Okay, maybe one or two reprieves, but that's it. But the tension was so incredibly high and so connected from moment to moment in the story that there was zero helicopter parenting going on by that writer. And it was beautiful. And I'll tell you, I left that film breathless and exhausted, and I had an emotional experience. And that's what we are supposed to do as writers. We are supposed to give our readers emotional experiences. And if they're reading our pages and just turning them and finding a good story, we are not doing our jobs, guys. And we need to get back into that manuscript. And we need to find places where we've helicopter parented our characters and we have made it too easy for them, or allowed the solution to present itself too quickly. Because if you've ever seen a child who's spoiled, they don't turn out very great. It's those kids that have to face difficult situations and difficulties in general with a parent who loves them enough to know when to give them space, that become dynamic, productive members of society. And that's our job as writers, to create those characters that our reader can connect with and grow with, so that they can experience a journey in the book that will carry into their lives and change their actual life from your book. That's our job, guys. Well, that's it for today. I hope some of that information was helpful. If you liked it, please consider subscribing, liking, and reviewing this podcast, and check out all the podcasts on Space Coast Podcast Network. They're great. You can also join our Facebook group called facebook.com/write a book that doesn't suck. Super easy. I'm trying to brand here. And you can also, you can join that group, and you can put comments in there of things you'd like to hear more about. We have some writing prompts in there. We share our books. We share events and things like tools that we find that are amazing. It's just a community of authors who come together because we all want to write books that don't suck. And that is my goal here. So I hope to see you again. I appreciate you listening. And until next time, guys, happy writing.